Hi guys, in today's video I have prepared for you two project examples for Bluetooth Classic protocol. The first project example is written in C for this STM32 board, and this project example is capable of turning the LED on and off based on the received messages. And in case it receives the command to turn the LED on or off, it also sends back the message whether the LED is turned on or off, and in case it receives any other message which it doesn't know, it sends back the message, the incorrect one. So, and the second example is this Java application for Android, and with this application you will be able to control the LED to turn it on or off, and down here on the bottom you can see the received message. So in this case it says the LED is on or the LED is off, and also you can type something in. I'm going to type something totally random and I'm going to send it, and I have received that text. So in case you just click the button, it sends a command to turn the LED on or off, and in case you type something in random, it just sends back the message and it doesn't toggle the LED. So let's get started. Let's start with this STM32 board, which has a Bluetooth Classic module on it, HC-06, and this module uses 3.3 volts as power supply, and it uses UART peripheral to communicate, and its default baud rate is 9600 bauds or bits per second, and I have also connected its reset pin to GPIO output pin of STM board. So let's have a look on configuration. So I have configured two GPIO pins. PC14 is for Bluetooth reset pin, and its default value is low, which keeps the Bluetooth module in reset. And PC13 is for the LED, and with this GPIO high level I keep the LED off, and this LED is supposed to be turned on by toggling this pin to low value. And I have set up this timer too, where I enabled global interrupt, and this timer is set to 20 milliseconds, and I have configured this UART to 9600 bauds or bits per second, and I have also enabled global interrupt. So let's check this clock configuration. I have set the clock basically to maximum, and let's have a look at code. So basically I just initialize peripherals, then I wait 200 milliseconds, then I toggle the reset pin to high value, which allows this Bluetooth module to boot up, and I wait because of that 1 second, and afterwards I clear the buffer, then I start the timer, which launches every 20 milliseconds, and I enable UART interrupt. In this library I have basically just two functions. This string compare, which returns 1 if two strings matches perfectly, if they match, and if they don't match it returns 0. And up here I have just a buffer and two variables, timer count and buffer index. I will explain this a little bit later. So let's move on to this second function. This is message handler, which is launched after a message is received. So if this STM board receives command LED on, it turns the LED on and sends back the response. The same case with the LED off. And if it's none of these commands, so it's some random message or some unknown message, I just put end of line at the end of the buffer, and then I send the message back. And afterwards, I just clear the buffer and set these variables to 0. And in here, I have two interrupt handlers. This one is for this timer, where I check if there's something in the buffer. And after that, I just start counting up. And if the receiving takes more than 100 milliseconds, then I just launch this message handler, because these messages I send are usually way too short to take them so long to receive. So this UART, interrupt the handler, basically just receive character after character, and it writes them to the buffer. And after I receive end of line character, I just launch this message handler. So in case a message doesn't contain this end of line, after 100 milliseconds, I launch this message handler. So that's basically it. So this program is quite easy, and now it is also explained. So I received everything via interrupt. As you can see, nothing is in this main infinite loop. So that's all for this program. And now we are going to move on to Android Studio application. In Android Studio project, I have used one of these Android Studio samples, and I have picked up this Bluetooth chat application. And this application is capable of connecting to a different device and is able to send and receive messages. So that's what I wanted. So I started off this project sample, and then I've been modifying this project. So first I have added this screen orientation, and I locked it to portrait, so this application doesn't rotate. And later on I have added these two buttons, button on and button off. And also I have added this text view received, and I have deleted all objects I didn't need it. And I have placed all objects into constraint layout. And when I first launched this application, I wasn't able to connect to my HC-06 Bluetooth Classic module. So I've been browsing internet and found out that someone tried to change this UUID to this one. So I have already copied this UUID, and then I was able to connect to my Bluetooth Classic module. And I also found the same case on the GitHub, where someone also mentioned these modules, such as HC-05 and HC-06 modules. So this was a lucky finding. And when you, for example, when you design your own layout in this XML, then you can create your own objects in your Java file, and then you need to find those objects from this XML file and add them to your Java objects. And after I did this, I was able to add there, for example, on-click listener, and when I click on this button, I just send this message. The same case with the button off. And over here, I have placed this receive buffer, which is up here, initialized as empty buffer. So these are all variables that I added. And in here, I just receive the messages packet by packet, because sometimes these messages are splitted into multiple packets, and I just stick them together and wait until I receive a packet which contains this line feed, which is end of message in my case. And after that, I basically on this line I just remove this end of line character, and then I go to message handler up here, and in this case this message handler just prints the text to text view received. So I always put their string received, and after that I print the message I just received, and after that I just clear the buffer. So that's basically it. So I just receive messages and plot them on the screen, and when I click on the buttons, I just send the text I wanted, such as LED on or LED off. So I've tried to not to modify this project, just to show you how easy it is to start off an Android example. So if you are new to Java or Android, don't be afraid. Even you can move on from C or C++ straight to Java, and you will quickly get used to this. So it's quite similar to C++. So everything is uploaded on GitHub. So you can download your Android Studio and download this project, and it should work. So that's all for today's video. And I would like to mention that in the future video, I am going to move from Bluetooth Classic module to Bluetooth Low Energy module. So you will see the difference between Bluetooth Classic and Bluetooth Low Energy. It's mostly the same when it comes to STM32 code, but when it comes to an Android project, it's quite different, because this Bluetooth Low Energy is newer protocol and it works just differently. So that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Bye.